Okay, so welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to work on a basic C++ actor. That is, we are going to add a static mesh and a collision box to a C++ actor and then derive it in the blueprints. So the first thing is we need to add a C++ class so that we have an actor. So let's add an actor type of class and let's just put it my actor and in the project. You can select the class type, but I would just leave it to default and then just create a class. So now the project now includes the source. Please close that environment from your IDE. And would you like to edit the code now? Yes. Rider. So basically I'm using Rider in place of Visual Studio. So that's why it's saying Rider, and I will just say trust and open. So the process is exactly the same for Visual Studio, no changes there. And now let's just close the editor. And we now have a basic actor with us. And we also have our project files here, which is just loading. It's constructing the components, syncing the project and things like that. But we can continue working out here. So let's go to our header file, that is myactor.h, and in the protected section, because we want basically you can also have the thing in public, but I usually keep this in the protected because protected cannot be taken from other classes, so it's a bit more protected here as the word says. And also what thing is, we will get a few getter functions so that we can get the values from it. And so let's make a u property. So basically IntelliSense is not working at this moment because it's caching and processing all the files, or else it would have a very, the Rider has one of the best IntelliSense I have ever seen. So let's just give it a minute. So now I think it's ready, as it says Rider is ready to use. And now we make okay, so yeah, it's ready. U box, nope. So let's make a U skeleton mesh component and add a star. That means star means that this variable will be a pointer. So let's make it skeletal mesh. And now because this is a u property and we don't need to edit all the values and only just the default value which Unreal Engine gives us, we need to make it visible anywhere and blueprint read only. Don't worry, you will be able to make all the changes regarding the components which you want, like the size of the boxes, the skeletal meshes, the scale, transform, and things like that. And then we will just give it a category and we will just get components. Next is one more u property for the collision, and same with it, visible anywhere, blueprint read only, and category again components. And this should be a u box component. Now it gives you a header. Now we need to include the box component header, so I will just press enter and it will include the header automatically for me. So if I press on include, you will see the box component header is now included. Now if you have not included this, it will let me just remove this. It will give this red thing that the u box include component box component, and you can just in Rider press just all enter and it will just automatically include the component again. So that's why Rider is a lot better. And now after ubox component, we will just add box component. So on it's half the work. Now let's do go to my actor.cpp file, and on construction, whenever this blueprint is constructed, we just need to uh, create a default sub object for it. So let's select the skeletal mesh and make a create default sub object. So the basic you can understand is it's taking the C++ and adding it to the blueprint code. So we will just select u skeletal mesh component. So you need to enter the type of the component which this variable is, and then here you need to add a text, and text is the name it will show that it will show in the blueprints. So we will keep it skeletal mesh. Now we need to do the same for the box component, create default sub object, and because now it's a u box component, so we will add u box component, and text would be box component. Remember, we have put some space here, so we will check in the blueprint if we get the space there or not. And now we need to have a root, so we will just write setup set root component, and we will set the box component as the root component of this class. And now we will attach this skeletal mesh to this box component. So oh sorry, yeah, okay. So we will just call the skeletal mesh and then call uh, setup attachment, and now it will ask for you for two variables, that is the useen component and the socket name. So basically socket name, if you don't like, you just want to attach, like it's an skeletal mesh to a box component, you don't want to attach to a socket, you just want to attach. So there we will just enter the parent, that is the box component in this state. And now for instance you are attaching a gun to the weapon, sorry, attaching the gun to a player, then you will have to add the text and then name the socket here. So basically we don't need the socket as of now, so we will just leave that. And we are almost done. So now we have created the sub object and we have set up the attachments. So let's just run. So now it will build the code. Okay, so now we have the uh, class added. So let's just create a new blueprint class and search for my actor, and we will name this BP my actor. And as you can see, we now have a box component, and you can see the space here and here. So it's the main box component which we named, and we can also get the box component as the normal blueprint component. We also have all the values here, even though we set it to visible anywhere. And we also have the skeletal mesh. You can set the skeletal mesh to anything you want, and yeah, this works. So that is it for me this video, and meet you in the next one. Thank you.